We're going to take a look at clubs. Clubs are communities within the ThriveThrough network. For those that don't know, the ThriveThrough network is a social media site for preppers, permaculturists, homesteaders, homeschoolers, like-minded people. And a major part of ThriveThrough is the clubs system. So here I am at the clubs directory. The first thing you'll see is clubs by location. So if someone creates a club that is location based, specific to a certain location, it'll show up here on the map and we can see which club each of those is. Next, we have a list of all of the clubs that there are to join. And up here we can take a look at clubs in different views. So we could take a look at it in a list view and see them all on a list, or in the grid. Let's talk about starting a club. I think this will help you understand what all the clubs are and what all the differences are between them. So we'll go to start a club, and I'm just going to create a test club. We'll say this is like a homeschoolers club. So the first thing we need to do is choose the privacy setting for this club. If it's going to be a public club, that means anybody can see the club, anybody can see the content within the club, and anybody can participate. They can comment on articles, things you create within the club without being a member of the club. So they wouldn't even have to join the club to do all these things. Next is an open club. So an open club, anyone can see the club and the content within the club, but only members who join the club can participate, comment on it, things like that. And anyone can join the club. Next, we have closed clubs. So with closed clubs, everyone can see the club and who's in it within the club directory, but only members can see what content is within that club and participate in that club, leave comments, things like that. And you'll have to ask the club owner to join that club. A private club is a club that's hidden from the club directory. So only people who are part of that club can see the club itself or any of the content within the club. So you need to be invited by the leader of the club to join the club and see its contents. So I'm going to choose private because this is just a test and I don't want everyone seeing this, getting excited and joining the homeschoolers club. Next, we want to give the club a description. This is just a simple description about what this club is all about, what users can expect to see in this club. All right, now we need to choose the membership type. So is this going to be a free club or a club where I want my members to pay for access to it? So if I choose paid, I can say, all right, it costs, we'll say $50 to join this club. And maybe that's because I have special articles that are only for club members or special products or things like that. Now, a small commission is deducted. A 10% commission goes to ThriveThrough to cover things like the costs involved with transactions through the PayPal and Stripe, things like that, and to pay for the hosting that we have to pay for the servers, things like that. So we take 10%, you get 90% of anything that comes in. And next I need to choose if I want to have a renewal fee. So I can say no renewals. Once they paid their $50, they're good to go and they have access to the club forever or until I kick them out of the club. Or I can say, yeah, I need a renewal term. And to do that, I would choose how much the renewal term is. So I could say it's $50 plus $10 every how often. And that's where I put in here. So I can say every, say 3 months, they need to pay $10 additional to continue to be a member of the club. Now I want to choose a club icon. That's just going to be a picture that is associated with the club. It shows up on every club. I've just chosen, I was working on a philosophy article and just chose an image from that. And now a location. So if this club is specific to a region, I put that in here. Otherwise, I leave it blank. Whitefish, Montana. Like, I don't have to specify the exact address. Go ahead and save that. Okay, so if you chose to have an address, it'll show up right here in the locations. You can click on it, and you'll be taken to a Google map that will show you the exact location. And you'll see here I didn't put in the street address, so I just have Whitefish, Montana 59937. Next, you'll see about the club. This is the description that I typed out of the club, and everything that's going on in the club. Any new posts people have made, anything like that will show up here, what's new in this club. And on the right, I'll see members of the club, how many members. And also it'll show up now in under my clubs, homeschoolers, the clubs that I own. So first you're presented with the homepage. This is the first thing people see when they go to the club. Now we can make a change to that, and we'll go over to that when we go into the features, but this is the default. Next, I have the follow options. So by default, so a member of your club will automatically be following the club. So they'll get notifications when something new happens in the club. Now, I can choose more specifics on this. I can say a notification and an email when new content is posted, or don't send me any notifications. And I can choose to let others see that I follow this. Now, you can get more detailed with this on specific parts within the club. So a specific, like if you have a forum on the club, maybe they just want to follow the forum and they don't want to know when you post new videos, things like that. Next, we have the members section. This just shows a list of all of the members in the club, the leaders and the moderators of the club, as well as all of the members of the club. Next, we see a member map. This will show a map of all of the members of my club. So we have the club location and the administrators so far checked to show in here. Next, we go into Manage Club, and this is where we choose what features we want in our club. So the first option is Topics, and this would be a forum. So we could have a topic called science, and give a description of what you want people kind of posting in here. And I'm going to make this a questions and answers forum. So I'm going to say ask and answer questions about science. I could upload some photos here, whatever. Now I choose what type of forum I want. And do I want this just to be a discussion, a running discussion, or do I want this to be specific for questions and answers? It's just for questions and answers. I'm going to choose questions and hit save. Now you'll see science gets added up here. If I click on science, I can ask a question, see popular questions and questions that don't have a best answer selected yet. And now I could add another one if I want to have a discussion board about something or another questions subject. Next is calendar. And calendar gives your community its own calendar of events. So you can post things like we're going to have a webinar at this time on this date, or maybe a member wants to post something. They're doing a home study group in this example for homeschoolers, or this week the homeschooler group is meeting here, things like that. Next is column. This is articles. So if you want to create a column for your club and where you post articles. Next is images. This is photo galleries, photos relative to your club. Files. Files is a heavily used one. This allows you to upload documents, anything you want, where you can choose whether those members get those files for free or maybe there's an extra cost to those additional files. And next is adverts. Adverts are part of the barter blanket system. And so it'd be where your members can post things that they have for sale. It can be where you post things that you have for sale. And this includes affiliate products. So if you have an affiliated product you need to share with your members, you could post your affiliate product in there as well. Next is links. This is the links directory where members can share links to specific websites. And next is seeds. Seeds are what's the word I'm looking for? Seeds are crowdfunding. So kind of like Kickstarter. So let's say maybe someone in your group needs help with something. You could start a crowdfunding for it where members of your club could donate money towards something. Or maybe there's a new project that you're working on that you want to add to for your club members, a video or something, and you need some funding to get it done. This is where you could post that and request that kind of funding. Next is tutorials. These would be written or video, whatever kind of how-to guides, DIY guides, tutorials, things like that. And next is videos. So if you have videos specific to your club. Next we have edit club settings, and this will allow you to go back in and make some changes to your membership fee, your terms, things like that, maybe your club icon and location. Now you'll see delete this form here. That's because I'm on the form that I created for science, so I could delete it. And next is homepage. This is where you can build a custom homepage. So the first thing people see when they go to your club is this content. So for example, if my club is for a course, I might want to make this the sales page. So because people that aren't within that club, if it's a closed club or an open club, this is a page that they will be able to see. They'll be able to see the content that's presented here, like the sales information, what the club's about, things like that. If this is a private club, it's only going to show to the members that have access to the club. I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like on one of these clubs. So we'll take our Permaculture Designers Course Club here. This is the home page that was built for that club. Okay, go back to clubs. Now you notice it shows up here. Well, that's because I'm a member of it. It's only going to show the clubs that you're members of. If it's a private club, it'll only show here to your members. Now, next is change owner. If you need to, for whatever reason, change the ownership of the club, who owns the club, you can do that. And you just type in the username of that member and change the club owner. I can also change the type. So maybe it's I want to create it as a private club to begin with so that I can work on it, build the content before releasing it to everybody. And then I can change it over to a closed, open, or public club. And now we have manage features. And this shows all the features that we've added, the calendar, things like that, and lets us arrange them in which order we want them to show up in the menu. We can create it to convert it to a different form. We can disable it so that it's temporarily disabled and then re-enable it later, or completely delete and remove it. There you go. There's a quick overview of clubs and what's possible within clubs. I hope you enjoy.